today and see all of their talents and their abilities on this full display for the faculty and for others that they come into contact with. Tonight is our opportunity to share their abilities with you and everybody who is on the live stream as well. We will begin our night with the National Honor Society induction.
Good evening and welcome to the 2023 National Honor Society induction. Glad to have you here tonight, glad to have this opportunity again to really showcase some of the students from our student body, those students who are highly involved already, and this is another way that they can be recognized. Let me find my glasses. Okay, so membership in the National Honor Society is one of the highest honors that can be awarded to any high school student. The National Honor Society has worked hard to bring the accomplishments of outstanding students to the attention of parents, teachers, peers, the community. Chapters in more than 20,000 high schools across the nation strive to give practical meaning to the Society's goals of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. The candle which is lit represents the National Honor Society's torch of knowledge. The torch and the light that it gives has become the symbol for learning. Knowledge gained through learning has the incredible power to direct and lead each seeker down incredible paths of adventure and opportunity. The torch is flanked by unlit candles, representing the four main considerations for selection. No student is inducted based solely on his or her academic accomplishments or upon any one of the considerations. The National Honor Society seeks to recognize a student who excels in all four of these areas. Students, today, the emblem of the National Honor Society will be yours from this day forward and should make you very proud. All that is good from your God-given talents and efforts, all that you have and that which you seek, must always then be paid forward and shared with others. Membership is more than an honor. It incurs a responsibility and an obligation to demonstrate those ideals in all of your daily endeavors. Membership also carries responsibility to the chapter. If your chapter of the National Honor Society is to be effective and meaningful, each member must become and remain involved, upholding the ideals by which you were selected. Thank you. At this point in time, we're going to hear from our current president, Emily Wygant. It's falling apart.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to parents, students, faculty, and staff. I'd like to give an extra warm welcome to our new NHS members and their families. My name is Emily Wigand, and I've been serving this past year as the National Honor Society President. I'm honored tonight to be able to welcome our new members to the National Honor Society. There are 4 specific qualities that students entering the National Honor Society must possess. These qualities are scholarship, service, leadership, and character. St. Croix requires NHS members to have a minimum of 3.25 GPA to fulfill the scholarship minimum requirements, but that is a minimum that each of these students has excelled far past. They demonstrate scholarship in their dedication and diligence to learning. They go above and beyond in their work, and they go above and beyond in helping others with their work. These students are always willing to lend a hand, and that leads me to the next quality of service. The work these students do in the classroom and outside of school is an excellent example of Christ-like service. You will hear later this evening all of the St. Croix programs and service opportunities that these students have been a part of, but that's only a portion of what they do to serve others. These students have a heart of service, and they never stop looking for places they can serve, whether they get recognition for it or not. Their service has been a blessing to us and to all those around them. These students also serve as leaders in their lives. They put others before themselves and offer a helping hand to anyone who needs it. They set a Christ-like example of leadership, reminding everyone around them of our calling to use our gifts to the glory of God. They push themselves and those around them to excel in all they do. They are motivated, leading others to accomplish their goals. They always give 100%, and we learn from their leadership every day. The final quality is the source of the other 3, scholarship, service, and leadership. This final quality is character. These students before you have a character driven by their love for Christ and their love for others. As Ephesians 2 verse 10 states, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." I ask our new members to keep this verse in mind as they begin their service in the National Honor Society, which will provide opportunities for these students to be God's handiwork and serve others to the glory of God. To the new members, I pray that these 4 qualities will be at the forefront of all that you do, and I pray that the National Honor Society will enrich you with service opportunities as it has done in the past. To our graduating members, I encourage you to show scholarship, service, leadership, and character as you go out into the world in whatever path you walk. Thank you, current members, for your service and leadership in our events this year, and God's blessings on our next year as you continue to glorify God with your scholarship, service, leadership, and character.
So just an example of some of the things that our National Honor Society does. Sometimes on very short notice. We get an email from one of the office ladies, "We need some greeters," and communicate with my group, and every time I have more people that are willing to work than we have spots to fill. And that's such a wonderful blessing for me to hear and to see that reaction from this group of kids, this group of people here, that they are so willing to step out and serve even on short notice. A couple other things that we do on a regular basis, on an annual, yearly basis. We do blood drive twice a year, and this is the crew that organizes that and literally runs it, because most of the day I'm in the classroom. And so we get them set up and get them going, and they work hand in hand with the Red Cross and make those blood drives happen. And that's such a blessing for me that I don't have to be concerned about how that goes. The other thing that we do in the fall and in the spring is roadside pickup out here. Actually down a mile by Thompson Sports Center or Fields, and then further to the west or south, whatever direction that is. South, okay? We go all the way down to whatever the Home Depot Road is. I can never remember the name of that road, but we have that section. And so we usually get more people, again, willing to help than we have space to do. And the state says 12 to 16 max. And so it's like, so it's kind of a cool opportunity twice during the school year to get out in the community. And one of the fun parts of that is, as we're out there dragging our garbage bags around, people are honking, waving, you know. just appreciating what we're out there doing. So a great bunch of kids. I'm very, very privileged to work with them again this year. At this point, we're going to hear about those 4 considerations, those 4 main pillars, I like to refer to them as, and I think Emily is back up.
Scholarship. Scholarship means a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and study, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for education ends only with the end of life. Knowledge is one great element in life which leads to the highest success, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past and the light that illuminates the future. Candidates have charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship.
Service. My office is service. Service can be described in various ways. In the routine of the day's work, many opportunities arise to help others. Willingness to work for the benefit of those in need, without monetary compensations or without recognition, is the quality we seek for our memberships. We are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and abilities to the creation of a better tomorrow.
Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking the initiative in class and school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to attain the same objective. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interest for the interest of others. A leadership has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a country, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a substantive charge to each of our members.
Character. Character is the force within each individual which distinguishes that person from others. It gives each of us our individuality. It is that without which no one can respect oneself, nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is the force of character that guides one through life, and, when once developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action, striving daily to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must be in reality what we wish to appear to others. By demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship, we may hope to prove by example that we value character.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to hand out certificates. We're going to start with the juniors. So if the first row would stand, please. Elias Bloomer. Thank you. Congratulations. Nellie Clayton. Congratulations. Georgia Dixon. Kaylee Fennier. Congratulations. I'm moving my glasses. Grace Lassand. Min Wen? An? No? So young? What? Seyoon. There we go. I'm missing my glasses. I don't know where they went. Seyoon. There we go. Oh, that's where we are. I used to be able to do this without glasses. There we are. There we go. That's better. Congratulations. Okay, and Min is sick today, so Min Wen would be another junior. Then our sophomores. Matthew Beekman. Congratulations. Maddie Gross is absent today. Hannah Gullickson. Congratulations. Hannah Eisberger. There we go. And Avery Calise. Second row. Did you guys leave enough chairs? There we go. Drew Mildebrandt. Congratulations. Nathan Nicoli. Congratulations. Rio Nomura. Congratulations. Alexandra Park. Congratulations. Alexis Rachi. Congratulations. Lydia Schaefer. Congratulations. Noah Schmaling, straight from the baseball field. Congratulations. Jenna Schmatter. Congratulations. Jonas Delius. Congratulations. Kenyon Tess. Congratulations. Corbin Thrasher. Congratulations. And Addison Wood. Our 2023 NHS members. Give them a big round of applause, please. You guys take an It's going to take a minute or so here, and we're going to light the candles. Stuck already? Yeah, this one too. Take the whole thing. There you go. That wasn't supposed to happen. Do the back row too. There's some candles back there. Yeah. There you go. Thank you very much. This is the tricky part of the ceremony. The back row is struggling. Once we have all the candles lit, I'm going to ask you guys to stand. You might want to tuck your certificate either securely in one hand and candle in the other hand, or else put it on the floor. And Mr. Calise is going to lead us in the National Honor Society pledge. So you need the yellow sheet. Okay.
We recite the NHS Induction Ceremony personal pledge together. By my selection for membership in the National Honor Society, it shall be my earnest purpose to give of my time and energy toward the promotion of all school activities. I will strive to be at all times a model student and will never knowingly bring reproach upon my school. I pledge myself to uphold the high purposes of this society for which I have been selected, striving in every way to maintain and encourage exemplary standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Never let the flame of excellence fade in your lives. You may now extinguish your candles.
At this point, you guys may be seated. Some of you. I would like to acknowledge our seniors. This year, we're graduating 21 National Honor Society members out this year. You can see the list of names on the board. So those seniors who are here, if you'd stand, please. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you've done for us over the years. Give them a big round of applause, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. At this point, I'd like to thank you again for coming tonight and being part of this. I apologize for the candles. I bought Walmart's most expensive ones, and it is what it is. So we're going to move on with the rest of the awards at this point.
As he said, we will now move on with the service awards, which will be covered in the rest of your program. At this time, I would like to welcome our SCLA Ambassadors Program Leader, Miss Anna Biedenbender. We can applaud. We can give her.
Thank you. I'm Anna Biedenbender. I'm the Domestic Admissions Counselor here at SCLA. I have the privilege of working through the admissions process with prospective families, everything from a tour of campus through to completing enrollment. And while I love getting to know those families, telling them how great SCLA is, the most impactful point of contact that prospective families and students can have is with current students. I can say all the things in the world, Mr. Calise could say all the things in the world about SCLA, but students really need to hear from current students and experience a day here themselves. So I don't know if any of the ambassadors are here. Any ambassadors back here? No? Okay, they're gonna be listed above then. There's 40 different students who are our ambassadors. These students have represented SCLA in some kind of public fashion related to the admissions process and helping to recruit future students. They've visited area schools. They've helped at admissions events, whether that's leading groups of families, groups of students, giving tours of campus themselves, participating in a public Q&A where they share their experiences. And then the most numerous thing that our ambassadors do is hosting shadows throughout the year. And we've had 25 plus shadows, including today, this year so far. So that's prospective students just coming in, seeing what a day here is like. So the ambassadors who host those students, they're attentive in their classes all day, as well as being attentive to a student that they've likely never met before for the entire day. And that's a pretty awesome thing. They make them feel welcome, and they introduce them to all that SCLA is. So I just want to thank them for being positive examples of the kind and caring students that we have here, and thank them for representing both their school and their Savior. Thank you.
Before Jesus ascended into heaven, he left his disciples with the great commission of go into all the world and make disciples of all nations. And we often think of the spoken word as the means by which we take that word to all nations. But the gospel in its truth and purity can also be represented in song, which is another form of the spoken word. And oftentimes music, when you combine the proper gospel, the good and proper gospel, along with the emotions of music and the arts, it often leads to an entirely new way of hearing and listening to the gospel. So at this time, I would like to recognize those students who helped us with the music during our chapel programming this year. Pastor Sievert does a nice job of planning all of the worship, but our students and our faculty who lead worship and song, and music and song, really play a huge role in the positive worship experience here at St. Croix. So I would like to recognize the chapel musicians for the year. If they are here, they can stand up and let us offer them our round of applause. And we'll go through the slides.
We could see how long this would go. That was really nice. Thank you for your service. The next group that we want to recognize, and it's actually two groups here, the chapel technicians and chapel stream team. And really, these are groups that serve not just at chapel, but also for our concerts and other areas where audiovisual help is needed. So for the chapel technicians, we've got our stalwart men that sit at the desk every day, Reese Collins and Tyler Goldberg.
And then for the stream team side, as Mike was saying, every day we live stream chapel, and every day it is that gentleman there on the left, Hunter Johnston. So it's an amazing thing to see how these young adults take charge and really run with the responsibility. I don't have to do anything anymore. That's really great. And those other two men, they were primarily helpers when it came to our partnership with Town Square TV. They get to jump on $30,000 cameras and help us broadcast that, which is pretty awesome of them to volunteer their time for that. So if any of them are in here, they can stand up and be applauded. I don't think any of them are, though.
Next, I have the pleasure of recognizing the Crusaders. The Crusaders are selected through a rigorous audition process, and they submit letters of recommendation, and they serve the school and our St. Croix Lutheran Association in various ways. They sing in chapel, they sing at congregations in our area, and they also represent our school at our Wells Choral Fest. And it's a very rigorous schedule. It is a delight to be able to serve with them, and they are people of very high character and people who work very hard at bringing the gospel through song, as Mr. Calise said. I believe it was St. Augustine who said that he who sings prays twice. And so they are able to lead by example, and they support our choral program in such a great way. So I would like to recognize all the choral leaders that are here. Would you please stand? Thank you.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Kristen Lehman. I am the Mandarin teacher here and also work with the international program. So there's a few services that I'm going to introduce here tonight. So the first one, FMSC Volunteer, Feed My Starving Children volunteers. So we know that in the U.S. we really value volunteer experiences, and especially for going to university, it looks good on your application that you have volunteer experiences in various different areas. And for the students who live in the dormitory, they don't always have, it's not as easy for them to find those opportunities. They don't have their own parents to take them places. So one thing that I do is about once a week, we will go to Feed My Starving Children, and we will volunteer there to pack food for children who don't have a lot to eat. And I've just been so impressed with the students and their eagerness to serve. And it's not just because they want the hours for college. They just really enjoy serving others in that way. And it's fun to be with them and just watch them have a good time and pack meals and just be a blessing to other people. So they're up on the board are the ones that came pretty regularly this year. If I missed your name, I do apologize, because some would come just maybe once throughout the year. But if you are here and you volunteered at Feed My Starving Children, please stand. So I also work with the Global Leadership Team, and this is a group of about a dozen or so American and international students, and their focus is really bridging the cultures here at St. Croix. We have this year about 100 international students that come from over 20 different countries. So just a really amazing opportunity to learn about different cultures here and just kind of have that cultural experience. So the Global Leadership Team really has a passion for helping the different cultures here to meet each other and get to know each other and just get to be friends. So if you are on the Global Leadership Team, would you please stand? And then the International Mentor Program is kind of associated with the Global Leadership Team. So these are American domestic students who get paired up with a new international student for the whole year. And then we do different activities together once a month. And the goal is just to really, again, help the new students who come from different cultures, different countries, to be able to adapt to life here in the US, and just to have a familiar face that's here in the hallways to help them out. So the international mentors are those domestic students who want to make friends with a new international student and be a mentor to them. And then we do fun activities once a month. On Wednesday this week, we are doing a picnic at Thompson Park. So we get to do a lot of fun things like that. So if you are a mentor, could you please stand?
I'm not Dave Hebner, but I'm going to take Homeroom Leaders tonight. Dave wasn't able to make it. One of the things that we did a number of years ago is we reorganized our homerooms, and part of that organization was mixing all of the grades into one homeroom. And that has turned out to be such a blessing because it's allowed our groups to kind of get a cohesiveness in our homerooms that otherwise wouldn't be there. And it's fun for me as an advisor to kind of sit back on the sidelines sometimes, just listen to the conversations that go on back and forth between the different grade levels, the different people in my homeroom. But beyond that, they perform service for us. At the beginning of the year especially, we lean on our homeroom leaders to organize kind of mixer type activities, learning people's names, getting some basic information, especially for the new people coming in. And that is a real huge thing for us. And then later, at the turn of the calendar, when we're signing up for new classes, the experience that the older ones have is really valuable as the younger ones go, what's this class all about? Okay? And I don't sit through that class, but oftentimes there's one of the older kids in the advisory, or even one of the homeroom leaders that can say, well, this is what how this kind of goes, and you might want to think about this. And so the wisdom and the experience that they have and that they pass on is very valuable. And the most important thing that our homeroom leaders do is they organize treats, sometimes on a weekly basis. So any of you out there who are supporting homeroom leaders by providing treats, we really appreciate it very, very much. This year, my homeroom leaders decided they wanted to do a taco party. So that was last Thursday, and we managed to pull it off in 15 minutes. So they were very organized and had all of their stuff. So if you are a homeroom leader, please stand up and be recognized. Thank you very, very much.
Hi there. My name is Lorna Kapanke, and one of the fun things that I get to coordinate here is called New Friends. So if you're not familiar with that service opportunity, it's essentially a friendship group in which our students get to serve as volunteers for individuals in the community with special needs, and we meet during scheduled Sundays throughout the year. If you were to poke your head into the gymnasium on one of those days, I think what you probably feel you're seeing is chaos, but it's more than that. The thing that you'll see the most is friendships emerging, a lot of chit-chatting, crafts, games, and just general acceptance and love. So it's really an enjoyable thing. And I'm very proud of our students that dedicate the time to do it. It happens on a Sunday afternoon. I don't know about you, but for me, that's when I can kind of talk myself out of doing things on a Sunday afternoon. But they consistently talk themselves into coming, into showing up, and making a positive difference in those kids' lives. So it's really cool to see. We are, I think, just finished our 10th year of this. So one observation is I've seen a lot of volunteers in the past now go on to do really cool stuff like OT and PT and special ed teachers and child life specialists and all these cool things. And it's neat to see them take advantage of the opportunity to work with a really cool part of our population. So if you have served as a New Friends volunteer this year, if you could stand up, please. We'd love to recognize you. Thank you.
Student of the month next? Okay. All right. I had something else. All right. Student of the month. Each month we have the opportunity of celebrating not just a student who excels academically, that's certainly part of it, but a student that we feel is a model citizen or a model student in other ways as well, whether that's helping others or just lending a helping hand to someone else, or being a shoulder to cry on, or somebody who goes above and beyond, whether that's publicly or under the radar. We like to recognize those students each month. And at this time, I would like, if the students of the month are present, please stand so we can recognize you. Student Council. Mrs. Hillstrom runs the Student Council, and I have the following write-up from her, and I thank her dearly for this. She says, Student Council was a great success this year, from homecoming to dances to end-of-the-year events. Over $3,000 in monetary and physical gifts were given to the St. John San Juan Church Mission with the help of awareness raised by the Student Council to the St. Croix community. Everyone was eager to serve, and our executive team showed great leadership. Please give a hand to any Student Council member present for their dedication to serving their St. Croix community this year. So please stand if you are on the Student Council. The Student Council really does just a fantastic job of leading the culture here at St. Croix. They are the heart of St. Croix and just do an unbelievable job of positive school culture here at St. Croix. I am just going to touch on the Crusader leadership team since it was in my bulletin and I was asked to speak on their behalf. So I'm going to say a little bit about the Crusader leadership team. Every year we pick a team of athletes or a team of people who lead activities. It just doesn't have to be athletics, who are going to be good, solid, positive role models for other kids in the school. They start their year off by going to a conference team building event where they have special speakers and they learn leadership skills and just overall positive leadership in general. Then throughout the year, Mr. Bunkowski seeks them out at times of need when leadership is necessary. And I have to say, this year I was most proud of our leadership team when we were down a custodian during basketball season, which is just a bad combination. And it was the leadership team that took the initiative in a lot of ways, and they started cleaning bleachers and making sure that at the end of the basketball games, the mess that they rightfully made was cleaned up. And it didn't go unnoticed, especially if people were watching on the stream, and the stream stays for a while during a game. People noticed that, and they would email me about the work of the students overall, but that came as about because of the initiative of the Crusader leadership team. So I am going to read their names off real quickly. The Crusader leadership team is Tyler Franson, Emma Fry, Clara Hom, Kayla Hunt, Tabitha Johnson, Marco Rodriguez, Alex Rosine, Avery Samus, Ella Avery, Louis Filardo, Silas Gavrish, Max Coots, Isla Little, Alec Noe, Haley Orvik, Noah Rachi, and Zoe Washington. Please give them a round of applause. And then it goes without saying, on a night that we honor the students of St. Croix, at the same time, a huge thanks has to go to you as their parents. This doesn't happen by accident. It starts in your homes. But then that thanks is extended to the faculty and staff here at St. Croix. I don't get to see you all in action in your homes, but I get to see the result of that. But I also get to see our faculty and staff in action every day, and it's an amazing thing to behold each and every day. Did you have any closing comments? So then I would like to wish you a good evening. Please greet the students that you see here tonight, welcome them to NHS, and thank them for their service here at St. Croix. Without them, we don't exist. So thank you very much. Have a good night.